protein this, protein that. Good Lord, everywhere you look, something just has, 20 grams of protein on the label. And we automatically see this and we just think to ourselves, oh, look, it's got tons of protein. This must be healthy. Hey there, and welcome to Becoming Natural with me, your host, Victoria Ray. I am a certified transformational nutrition coach and specialist in the areas of mental wellness and nutrition. This podcast is to provide you with the knowledge and tools that you need to live a healthy and natural life in today's society where so many things are contaminated with man-made chemicals and things that we just would not encounter in nature. So today, what I wanted to discuss was something that's really taken over the fitness and nutrition industry as of late, and that is protein powders, protein cookies, protein candy bars, protein this, protein that. Good Lord, everywhere you look, something just has, 20 grams of protein on the label. And we automatically see this and we just think to ourselves, oh, look, it's got tons of protein. This must be healthy. And that's not always the case. A lot of these times, the protein that is in these products is extremely processed. It's made from like a protein concentrate. It's, usually made with soy. And personally, I don't hate soy. Soy is a phytoestrogen, but the problem with soy is, one, it's extremely processed when it's put into things like these protein powders, these protein candies, or in the little, gross soy burgers that are becoming the new thing. And most soy, actually 90% of soy, is a genetically modified crop, and it's contaminated with a pesticide called glyphosate. Now, glyphosate is a huge problem. It is extremely destructive to our microbiome because the point of glyphosate is to kill these tiny little critters that would be getting on the crops. So when we are ingesting this, herbicide, pesticide, it is destroying the little bacterias in our microbiome. And as we've come to realize over the past few years, the medical community has done countless studies on how important the microbiome is. 80% of our serotonin is produced in our microbiome. And if our microbiome is being destroyed, what do you think that is doing to our serotonin levels? That is contributing to, the insane depression rates that we have going on right now. So as a country in America, we have the absolute worst microbiomes of any other country in the world. And it is directly related to what we're eating. We're, eating refined sugars, we're eating refined carbohydrates, and we're ingesting so many herbicides and pesticides on all of our foods, especially when we're eating these processed soy products. Now, another problem that I have with soy is when it is isolated into this, protein state, it becomes, extremely unnatural, and it can cause hormonal disruptions in our bodies. And I know that some of you have probably looked into how soy can affect estrogen. And it can. It can when it is, so denatured that it does pretty much identically represent, on a chemical level, estrogen. So if we are consuming tons of this processed soy, what is this doing to our hormones? Especially if you're a man, I would not be consuming these extremely processed soy products. Another problem with it is the processed soy can take calcium and vital minerals out of our body. So when looking at a protein powder or a protein product, if this is what you're looking for, look for some type of alternative. If you're looking for a plant-based alternative, pea protein, pumpkin protein, those are going to be better options for your health than soy. One of the second things that is wrong with these protein products, is what I'm going to call them, protein products, is the whey protein isolate. Now, don't get this confused. I'm not talking about whey protein concentrate, which is something completely different. I am talking about whey protein isolate, and this is so processed. It is highly processed. Most whey protein isolates are from, these cows that are treated with all kinds of antibiotics, drugs, genetically modified crops, things that cows probably shouldn't be ingesting. And when we're ingesting something from our food, so milk from this cow that has been given antibiotics, corn or soy, because they feed cattle lots of corn and soy, these are inflammatory things. This animal is going to be inflamed. We are in turn eating inflamed products, which is going to cause inflammation in us. So if we are getting a whey product, we do want to look for a product that is from grass-fed cattle, cattle that are not treated with antibiotics and not treated with drugs, because in turn, that's going to be better for our health. It doesn't just stop with the cow. We are ingesting, or a goat, or whatever you're getting your milk from, that is directly translated into our bodies when we're consuming that from them. So this milk is processed, it's exposed to acids, it strips out all these minerals, and then we're making this isolate after all these steps of processing. So, consuming this can acidify our body, and our body really needs to stay in an alkaline state. So when we do acidify our body, that actually contributes to autoimmune diseases and all kinds of other degenerate diseases that we obviously want to avoid. So whey protein isolate, definitely not one that I would suggest. Whey protein concentrate, on the other hand, is going to be fine. And again, if you want to take that extra step in caring for your body, do look for grass-fed or cattle that are not treated with antibiotics, drugs, and not fed these inflammatory foods. Another problem with these protein products is artificial flavoring. So artificial flavoring is actually just a bunch of chemicals that some food scientist made in a laboratory. Now these are synthetic ingredients. They are made by chemical manipulation through whatever process these crazy scientists go through several years of school to learn how to do. And I mean, good for them, being chemists, and that's super awesome. But these things that they're making, these artificial flavorings, are intentionally engineered so that our brain is addicted to them and so that we cannot get enough. Now, this is a huge problem because, one, what are these chemicals doing to our body? They're probably disrupting our hormones. And most of them are going to be made from oil or from tar, petroleum products. And, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really a fan of eating petroleum products. They can also be made from wood pulp and other weird, crazy things. So, that may start out as something natural, but through the process of chemical manipulation, they're making these artificial chemicals that are damaging our brains, is damaging as well our microbiome. So I really do suggest avoiding artificial flavoring. Here's another one that is it's a little harder to avoid, because it's in almost everything, unfortunately, and this is natural flavoring. Now you're thinking, hey, Victoria, it's natural flavoring. Like, what's the deal? It clearly says natural. Like, that's not a problem, right? Well, here's the thing. Natural flavoring is pretty much the same as artificial flavoring, but it starts out as a natural source. So like a plant or an animal. I don't know if you guys have heard about the raspberry thing coming from beaver butthole. If you haven't, please do yourself a favor. Look it up. And yes, raspberry flavoring comes from the anal gland of beaver. And this is considered a natural flavor. How gross is that? So don't think you're safe with natural flavors. They can contain preservatives, emulsifiers, solvents, chemical additives, and these can be made of upwards of hundreds of ingredients. Like, it's insane the amount of chemicals and ingredients that go into making these natural and artificial flavorings. And again, these are intentionally made and intentionally added into the food so that one, it most of the time tastes sweeter, tastes better, we're craving it, and we want to keep coming back to this manufacturer to keep buying their product, which is their ultimate goal. So if you can avoid natural flavors, that would probably be in your best interest, but I understand this one is in pretty much everything, so it is a little harder to avoid. Something else that we really want to talk about that is a big thing with these protein products is, they'll put on the label 20 grams of protein, 0 sugars. Okay, and then you take a bite of it and holy shit, is it sweet? Like, what is that about? How is it sweet and there's no sugar in it? Oh, artificial sugar. And you're thinking, oh, cool, look, so it's what is one, like aspartame or sucralose or something like that. Like, it's good, it's not sugar, it's sugar-free. That is actually worse. And here is the reason that it is worse. One, your body's going to process that sugar like sugar. Your body processes it the same way. And what it does to your brain is your brain takes half of all the sugar that you consume, because your brain is a greedy motherfucker and it's like, yeah, give me that sugar. So when you take a bite of something and it's made with sucralose or another artificial sweetener, your brain's really excited because it tastes sweet. So it's like, all right, dude, I am ready for this. Give me half that sugar. And then all of a sudden, it doesn't get any. So your brain is like a 2-year-old and it's going to throw a tantrum and it's going to freak out and be like, dude, what the hell? You told me that I was getting this sugar and I don't have any sugar. So it's going to get mad at you and it's going to make you crave more sugar, more food, and you are going to eat more. And this is not your fault. Your brain is a crazy, crazy powerful thing. So you will end up eating more food. And if your goal is to avoid, gaining weight, if you're trying to lose weight, and that's the reason you're eating this artificial sugar in the first place, you are directly going the opposite direction than you want to go with that. Another big problem with sucralose, and here is what I think makes sucralose so terrible, is it contributes to depression directly. Now, how does it do this? Sucralose destroys your microbiome. And where is 80% of our serotonin produced? In our microbiome. So by consuming sucralose and even other artificial sweeteners, we are contributing to depression in our own bodies. So to me, if you ask me, it is not worth it. I avoid artificial sweeteners like the plague. If it is in anything, I do not eat it. One, because first of all, it's not natural. I'm messing with my hormones. I'm messing with my brain. I really don't want to piss my brain off. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want my brain mad at me, telling me to eat other crap because I tricked it with sugar. So I am not a fan of the artificial sweeteners. Another thing it does is it promotes fat storage. which again, most people are eating these because they're thinking, I'm not eating sugar, so I'm not going to get fat. Actually, it's promoting fat storage in your body, increasing your appetite, increasing your sugar cravings, and it is going to lead to a larger waistline, which is what most of us do not want. They've also been linked to cancer in animal studies. So again, I like to avoid artificial sweeteners. The other ones are refined sugars. And now sugar is really addictive. We understand that. It makes us tired. It makes us age faster. It makes our skin dull, and actually weakens our immune system, which is a huge problem right now with, all the virus stuff that's going on and everybody, getting sick. And we want strong immune systems. So avoiding sugar is going to be good. But here's the thing is, when you buy these products, on the back, they don't just say sugar. They're going to say something like corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, which, dear God, I do not eat high fructose corn syrup. One, because fructose, which is found in fruits, contributes to weight gain. So our ancestors would be eating these fruits, which are only grown for a couple months out of the year. Normally, hunters and gatherers would get these towards the end of summer, the beginning of fall. They would get these fruits, they would start eating them. They're high in fructose, they're very ripe, and that signals our body to start storing fat. Why? Because winter is coming. And we need to store fat so that we can survive over the winter. So eating these fruits, I'm not saying avoid fruits. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just trying to help you understand why our body is storing the fat. We're eating these, it signals our body, hey, go ahead, start storing fat. Cool, good deal, no problem. Now we've got this high fructose corn syrup, which is concentrated fructose. Holy shit, are we eating 10,000 fruits and one soda? Our body doesn't know what's going on, and it's going to be triggered to start storing fat because that's what your gene sequencing is telling your body to do. There's nothing wrong with you. Your body's working perfectly fine. It's doing what it's supposed to. So if you want to go ahead and start storing fat like a bear for the winter, eat the fructose corn syrup, eat the corn syrup, eat the, crazy science-made sugar that is contributing to the obesity epidemic. There's other ingredients on there that are going to be sugars, which are maltodextrin, dextrose, and the list goes on and on and on. Now, if you do get something that is made with sugar, just look at the sugar content. Make sure it's not extremely high because, we're not going to be able to avoid sugars, but you're best off avoiding the high fructose corn syrup again. Some other things that are in these protein products that I have a huge problem with. Number one, actually one of the biggest things on my list is vegetable oils. Refined vegetable oils like canola oil, soybean oil are in pretty much all of these products. They're in your protein powders, they're in your protein bars, they're in your protein cookies, they're in most of your fitness supplements. And we really, really want to avoid these oils because these are polyunsaturated fatty acids. I know what you're thinking. Victoria, the American Heart Association has told me my whole life I need to avoid, the other fats, and I need to eat the polyunsaturated fatty acids. Wrong, dude. Polyunsaturated fatty acids are contributing to weight gain like a motherfucker. Why do we see this spike in fat in obese individuals and this spike in seed oils? One, because these seed oils go through so much processing because you're not getting fats from these seeds. They don't naturally create lots of fats. So they have to go through tons of processing. We're processing them with chemicals like defoaming agents, hexane, Oh, good Lord. Look that up if you want to have a nightmare. Chemical solvents, steamers, denaturalizers, waxers, bleach, deodorizers. It's going through all these chemical processes to try and get out this tiny, tiny bit of fats that's in these seed oils. And what these do is they go into our fat cells and they're hard to burn. So our body's getting them, it's processing them, it's turning them into fat. So now we've got all this fat and our body's not burning it because it's a polyunsaturated fatty acid. This is a problem. I don't want fat that I can't use. I want fat that I can use. So good fats are going to be like natural fats that are found in animal products, butter, ghee, coconut oil, olive oil, almond flour oil. Did I say almond flour oil? What the hell? Almond oil and walnut oil. What's another one? Avocado. I think I was trying to say avocado when I said almond flour oil. Maybe I'm just thinking about almond flour. I made some almond flour scones yesterday. Man, they were super good. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. I don't know. But we really do want to avoid these seed oils. They are very detrimental to our health. They're contributing to cancers as well. This is something that I avoid. One, I have noticed that canola oil causes me to have eczema. So I had eczema for a long time. I went to a couple different doctors, I've got eczema. Yeah, we don't really know what causes eczema. Some people just have it, some people don't. Okay, sure, whatever. That's not true at all. Your skin is a direct reflection of whatever is going on in your body. So nothing that's happening on the outside of your body is happening just on the outside of your body. It is a direct reflection of something that's going on internal. So whenever I cut out these vegetable oils, I no longer had eczema. I haven't had an eczema breakout in years because I have avoided these vegetable oils. Dandruff, same thing. It was insane. And it's crazy like how you can cut this out and within a few weeks you start feeling better, and two, the skin problems that I was having completely cleared up. Absolutely crazy. Something else that's added into these protein products are going to be synthetic vitamins. So you're thinking maybe, vitamins are healthy. But here's the problem. If they're made in a lab from things like coal tar, petroleum, or genetically modified crops, treated with glyphosate, other pesticides, and herbicides, they're not going to be as good as their natural counterparts. They're not going to be absorbed into your body as well as a vitamin that's going to be present in the natural world. So if you want some vitamins in, your protein stuff, look for vitamins from whole food sources. And I don't mean Whole Foods as in the store. If you want to go to Whole Foods to get your vitamins, go ahead. But when I say whole food sources, I mean like berries, leafy green vegetables. So if you're making a shake, go ahead and add those in. You can blend some spinach or kale into your smoothie. And honestly, you're really not going to taste it. At least personally. I don't. You might hate it. Hey, maybe that's okay. Go find a different way to get your vitamins. But synthetic vitamins, they're not going to be the best for you. Another thing that's going to be found in most protein products is going to be pesticides. That's just because these are not certified organic, which means that these crops are going to be treated with pesticides, herbicides. And I know we talked on this a little bit here at the beginning, but a lot of this stuff is neurotoxic. Again, it's going to disrupt your microbiome. It's going to contribute to disease, health issues, all kinds of things that we can really avoid by just choosing organic products. And I understand that organic products can normally be a little bit more expensive, but if you're buying protein powders anyways, you're already spending $40, $50 on a jug of protein powder. Why not spend a couple extra dollars on something that is certified organic so you're not ingesting pesticides into your body? So these are just some things I kind of want to let you guys know about these protein products that are out there on the market. I know they're very convenient. They're easy to buy. You go into the gas station, you're on a road trip and you're like, well, shit, I don't want to eat chips. Look at this protein cookie. I can just eat this instead. A better option is probably, if you're looking for something like that, get some nuts, get some like a fruit and nut mix. Not the ones with M&Ms in them. Jesus, do not buy that. But there are better options out there for us. We don't have to be confined to what the fitness industry is telling us is good for us, because at the end of the day, their goal is to sell their product. They can sit there all day long and put 0 sugar, 20 grams of protein on the label, and people are going to buy it because they're not going to know that it's actually basically just junk food. So just be conscious of what you're buying, where your money is going. There are brands out there that make better products that are organic, that do actually have clean sources of protein and good sugars like coconut sugar, monk fruit sugar, stevia leaf sugar. And, just look for those products if you are looking for something like that. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Go ahead and leave a comment if there is something that you guys really want to know about nutrition. If there's any questions you have, go ahead and ask your question. I'll go ahead and reach out to you with some answers. And I have very, very much enjoyed you guys stopping by and listening to this podcast. Now, I have some super, super exciting things in the work for you guys right now. So make sure that you tune in next Friday for my second podcast, where I'm going to be giving you guys some information on some really, really awesome stuff that is going to be coming out. So until next time, go ahead and do yourself a huge favor and have a freaking amazing day.